Tuesday Talks. This is Payton and
Hey, this is Megan.
Hey, so we want to talk about what's been going on the last 7 days in the world of real estate. So we've got some cool things to talk about and some other just good information, stuff to know. On the real estate side, I'll kind of give a blurb every week, but if you're new here, I handle all of the realtor stuff. So I handle all the house contracts, negotiations, looking at stuff, all of that. And Megan is all things money. So if you have questions about financing, loan options, all of that stuff, that all goes to Megan. I legally can't answer any of those things. So we work really well together and we love working together. So we want to bring this to you every week. So in the world of real estate, looking at what has happened in Fayette County just over the last 7 days is actually very interesting, because if you know anything about the market and how crazy it was earlier this year, you know, people were paying $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 over asking. So that was super fun. And having to deal with appraisals or waivers or, you know, and how to finance all of that. That was great. But now things have calmed down a lot. And what I'm looking at literally right now as we're filming this is that pretty much everything in the last 7 days that sold in Fayette County sold at list price or below list price. Like there's a couple exceptions, but for the most part, almost everything is, if it was listed for $569, it sold for $569, which is great because, you know, for buyers, and I mean, that's still great for sellers too, because you're still getting an amazing amount of money for your house. But for buyers, it really is just more encouraging so that you don't have to have your entire life savings on the line just to get a house. So that's the best thing that I'm seeing now is that, yeah, the market's cooling down, but statistically over the last 12 months, even through the craziness, there has always been a 2-month housing supply on the market pretty much at all times. And that includes now. So the best thing is there's still options. You just don't have to pay as much for them. So, but I know that affects how things are in the financing world. So what's going on there?
Just like you said, Peyton, like, you know, you're seeing more of a leveling out. And especially this time of year anyways, it's always, you know, cyclical in that aspect that it is a slower time of year. Mm-hmm. We're focusing more on holidays, you know, and everything like that. But, you know, we're seeing it on our end too, where first time home buyers are actually able to purchase a home now, because they're not competing against 50 other offers, you know, for $100,000 over the list price. So it's good too in that aspect where you can encourage the American dream for those people, you know, wanting to build their future and buy that house.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And one thing we just got notified of, actually just like I told you 30 minutes ago, even Ribbon has stopped doing their cash buying program. So, you know, that's a sign of also the economy and where it's trending to back to normal home buying situations instead of those multiple offers that are competing and that cash offer, you know, winning by.
Yeah.
So, we knew it would level back out, and it's finally starting to show signs of that. And it's just interesting to watch how these companies, you know, switch their purpose and their intentions into what will now help the buyer even more. So. Right.
Yeah. Because, you know, from a real estate standpoint, if you didn't have cash, all cash, or a cash back offer even 6 months ago, right, you had no chance. So, you know, these companies like Ribbon were coming out of nowhere, what it felt like, and, you know, basically giving everybody the option to have a cash backed offer. So hearing that is actually a really big deal.
And I mean, on top of that, they were charging crazy amount of fees too for their feature with that. So, not only will it be more affordable to buy a house now, but like I said, you actually have more of an opportunity and a chance, especially that first time buyer that doesn't get outbid by 50 other people. So
Exactly.
it's
Yep.
awesome to see.
Yeah.
And then rates are kind of stabilized and you're able to kind of gauge it from a better perspective than, oh crap, here we go, so
Right.
it's a little more leveled out on that field as well.
That's good. Because I know a lot of people were talking about how, there was like a jump, a decline, I guess, over the last week. So let's just stay here.
Yeah.
Let's just do this. I feel like that would be good for everybody. Everybody, mental health, financial health. Let's just so I mean, that's all good. All good things. Especially for this time of year. You're not seeing a crash, you're not seeing the market fall apart, you're not seeing, no homes or too many homes. It's what you hear in the chatter of, network TV and all that other stuff is baloney.
It's too, as well without the facts, or they inflate the facts to scare people even more. So, I mean, there's a ton of things that they use to create percentages and numbers and all that stuff that's not necessarily true.
Right.
Even though it has slowed down and, rates are still above where normal is for people in their heads from the past 2 years, people still need homes. People are still selling homes. People are still moving. So even though it is, holiday season, people are still moving for their jobs. They're still moving for their wants and needs, so there's always that constant.
Yep. Love it. That's the one thing I do love about real estate, right? Like everything is like always up in the air and changing all the time, but it's always constant that someone needs a house.
Yeah. They have somewhere to live.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the other good thing about, kind of plugging in and being in the audience of what we're doing is to make connections on a local level, because when you're working with somebody like myself, who's been in the area my entire life, super familiar with pretty much all things Georgia and Metro Atlanta, and then you're working with somebody like Megan, who's local, her office is literally in Peachtree City and based out of Sonoya. So like, we can hear what the media is talking about and then translate that to really what it makes more sense for our market, and take the scare tactics out of it. So when you have people like us on your side, it makes it a little bit easier, to jump in and not be so overwhelmed and scared. But I heard some good news about your team.
Yeah, we're growing. I can't give all the specifics yet, but we're growing exponentially. And then our language capability is also going to be growing. So I'm bringing on somebody who's fluent in Spanish. So huge opportunity there. And they've been doing this long enough, and they know the business, and they know people in the community. They live here. So I'm excited.
That's amazing. I was actually talking to some people the other day about how that's such a underutilized market. I mean, it is, there's so many Spanish speaking families in this area that need people who can speak Spanish.
It's completely underserved, part of it in the aspect of like home loans and even real estate in general. There's not that many people, and we've had, like, I have friends that in the business that can speak, because I know a little bit, but I cannot speak it fluently. I wish I could. My goal is to one day do that, but I can't.
Yeah.
So it would be terrible. But I'm excited because this will bring an opportunity for us to help those families, especially here with the film industry and everything.
Yep.
The amount of people that speak Spanish fluently, somebody needs to help them. They still want to buy houses. It's still their dream. So to be able to speak to them now will be a huge, huge benefit. Yeah.
So once you get all your ducks in a row and all your people settled in, we need to bring them on and introduce them to our network as well. That would be great.
That'll be definitely happening.
Yeah. Love it. Cool. Well, hopefully we'll have another normal week in real estate, whatever that means, heading into Thanksgiving. So we
God, it's not
are
good.
excited to have a little bit of family downtime next week, but yeah, that's not really a thing.
No.
We'll tell ourselves that, right?
No, it's not happening.
Yeah, that's right. So cool. Well, I enjoyed talking to you, and I will see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.